Hello race fans and welcome to the famed Bristol Motor Speedway, also known as the last great Coliseum, Thunder Valley, the world's fastest half mile, however you want to put it, because we are here live for race number 4 of the 3 Wide Racing League's Race King Cup Series, live here on 3 Wide TV. I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth tonight is Justin Kolb, and in the production truck doing the director, showing you all the action is Mr. Carlos Acosta. Justin, welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. You know this place just as much as I do with your past experience in the 3 Wide Racing League. How are you doing tonight? And tell us a little bit about your experience here at Bristol, and tell us a little bit about the racetrack.
Well, I'm doing good, Tanner. Thank you, and glad to be here. Bristol is a very fun track. Some people may have differing opinions, but one win here myself was back maybe about 2 years ago. So much fun, and the lines have changed through the years. You used to be only running the bottom. People have started moving up to the high side lately, and Tanner, we know you ran the Truck Series last night. What do you think we'll be seeing here tonight? What should we expect?
I did run the Truck Series last night, and I do believe that we're going to see a lot of drivers move up to the higher side of the racetrack as the tires wear off. If you have fresher tires, you can run that bottom for about a couple laps, but if that groove gets, those drivers keep running that groove on the bottom, putting some rubber in, it's going to tighten up the race car, and it'll allow drivers to really switch up their lines, whether they're going to run the middle groove or the higher groove of the racetrack. Bristol Motor Speedway opened up back in 1961, and it currently is 26 to 30 degrees of banking here at Bristol. Everybody who is a NASCAR fan knows Bristol, but hey, let's talk about the drivers here a little bit. And Justin, you and I both have raced with plenty of these drivers like Paul Ross, Johnny Thomas, Cameron Rich, Sam Close, Nathan Velez, and so on, Nick Miller, Corey. We've raced with these drivers, and from your past experience, what drivers are you going to be looking at tonight that are going to be up towards that top 5 area with a shot for the win?
Absolutely. Racing with them ever really since they started iRacing. As you mentioned, those guys, the usual suspects so far we've seen at the top of the board here in practice: Paul Ross, Johnny Thomas, and some newcomers. We've had a couple late. Cameron Rich came in just a few years ago, and let me tell you, that team's been on quite the hot streak. 3 races this season so far, 3 wins, can't count them out. And Sam Close down in 7th. I think you're going to be wanting to watch him as well. Very good here at Bristol.
You mentioned EisenTech Motorsports, or not Motorsports, excuse me, EisenTech Enterprises. That features Cameron Rich and another driver, Peter Short, who are 3 for 3 so far here in the Cup Series of 2018 of the Race Kings Cup Series. Let's go through that point standings. Cameron Rich is currently sitting on top of the leaderboard with the points lead. Just got a win last week in Rockingham with 142 points. Second place is Paul Ross with 127 points. Peter Short is the other driver that has those two other wins. He's currently in 3rd in points, 121 points, 21 points back from Cameron Rich. Johnny Thomas currently sits in 4th place in points with 118 points. And rounding out the top 5 in points is Mr. Samuel Close, who you just mentioned, Justin, 117 points. So I guess you could say within that top 5, I'm seeing EisenTech Enterprises, 3 OG Racing, and of course Johnny Thomas, JTR, Johnny Thomas Racing. Johnny Thomas, I like to call him the Kevin Harvick of this league. You just never know when he's going to show up, and last night he was running solidly in the top 5. I do believe he did get a top 10 finish, so that's one driver we're going to keep an eye on for sure. So far, currently drivers are going through a little bit of a drivers meeting right now. There were some practice laps being turned. And when you go through these drivers meetings here at any other 3 Wide Racing event here, Justin, what kind of explain to the viewers, in your opinion, on the rules of what the race officials go through?
Yeah, just coming off actually from the off-track official role, and really just going through what you should expect tonight. Pit road officiating and stuff like that. One rule that will be implemented here tonight: 11 laps down. If a driver goes 11 laps down, they will have to call it a night. So we're going to have to watch that. 3 pit boxes in, 3 pit boxes out, entering pit road. And I'm really just explaining, we have tonight the NoBull series. Tanner can go into a little bit more detail than that, and it looks like they're just finishing it up. And just explaining, what to expect in the upcoming months and stuff like that. And Tanner, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the NoBull series here?
Yeah, the NoBull4 series, there's 4 of them that they'll run throughout the series here in the Cup Series, and this is already the second one. Tonight is a second run of the NoBull event, and tonight's drivers consist Cameron Rich, Randall Faulks, Luis Salmaso, and Paul Ross. If one of those 4 drivers win, and those were the top 4 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, from Rockingham last week, if one of those 4 drivers win tonight, they will receive a $20 payout. Trying to see if there was other races here on their schedule that I got to read here, just to see when their next event of the NoBull4 is. Last week was the first one at Rockingham. Tonight is Bristol. That's their second one. Their next one will be at Charlotte in June for their running of the I want to say their Coca-Cola 300, which is like 200 laps down at Charlotte, and that's back down in June down the line. But yes, 4 drivers are contending for a NoBull drive tonight. There should be documented on their cars, which is Paul Ross is one of them, Cameron Rich is another. Rich won it last week, and he's got another shot this week, and that Eisentech Enterprise has just been on fire ever since the green flag dropped back in Daytona. But it's going to bring some wild racing for sure if you want to go cash payout.
Absolutely, and being part of that myself, it's a very cool deal that Corey Lindsay and the guys at 3 Wide Racing put on. It gives you a little bit more incentive to drive a little bit harder and drive a little bit more cleaner just to make sure you're there at the end.
Yeah.
And going back to what you mentioned about Eisentech, they've actually been on quite the roll ever since, I believe, round 2 last year of the playoffs, which, of course, Peter Short won. And they've just been continuing that roll into this season. It's absolutely impressive.
Yeah, and I'm a big stat guy, especially when it comes to the 3 Wide Racing League. And Cameron Rich, he's going to be topping at least my record if he leads more laps, because I was looking at the stat sheet. I was like, man, he's leading the most laps in this, not just the series, but the league itself. So far, Cameron Rich is going to pass me up. I know that much. But Cameron's just been on a roll. He's led 115 laps last week at Rockingham. And he also led 37 at Atlanta and 13 back in Daytona. So every single points official race, Cameron Rich has led this season. So watch out for Cameron Rich as this night progresses here tonight. But outside of Eisentech Motorsports here, drivers to watch: Johnny Thomas, Paul Ross, and Sam Close. I think, since they are in top 5 in points, but they are major factors. But I just want to read out a couple drivers to you here, Justin. Does anybody stand out to you? Mike Stevens, Corey Lindsay, Luis Salmaso, Kevin Finn, or Kyle Hanshaw?
Definitely Corey Lindsay. These past couple races, I've been seeing him improve a bunch. And, of course, Luis Salmaso, still learning a few names here. But he was a driver, too, last week that I had seen up front quite a bit at Rockingham. And that track can feel a little bit like a short track just with the banking there and how close they were in racing. So definitely a driver you're going to want to watch out for tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Luis Salmaso driving for 3OG Racing, which is with Samuel Close and Paul Ross. So, I mean, watch out for that team to be a factor when it comes to playoff time later this season. And actually, Luis just gained 16 spots in the point standings. He's currently sitting 8th in the points. He gained 16 spots from Rockingham a week ago, so keep an eye on him as tonight progresses. A driver that stuck out to me that's sitting in the top 10 in points is Mike Stevens, sitting 6th in the points. He has finished, and this is including non-points events, he's finished in the top 10 every single race with the exception of last week at Rockingham. And he currently sits 6th in points. His average finish this season so far is in 8th place. So I think if Mike Stevens, I know it's Bristol, if he can keep that front bumper nose clean with maybe a scratch or 2 on it and still finish in the top 10, he should be okay. And might be a factor if the leaders decide to ruffle each other's feathers up a little bit. But looking up on the practice leaderboard here right now, we got about a minute until actually about 5 seconds until practice ends.
And check out who's on top, by the way.
Jordan Teal.
About teams there.
Jordan Teal and Tate Lytle. Now, Tate Lytle is not a full-time Cup Series driver, though, so I think this might be his second or third event. I'll have to check the the stats on that, but he is running here tonight, but he is not a full-time Cup Series driver, as qualification is now beginning right now. What line, Justin, here at Bristol would you want to take, and how would you want to enter a corner? How do you want to get off a corner to make good speed, to get a good qualification time?
Well, from the few laps I ran last night just in practice, I feel like the middle to high groove is where you're going to want to be. Haven't really raced anybody here at Bristol in quite a few years, but I feel like that's still the line you're going to want to run. Obviously, here in iRacing, they don't have any of the sticky stuff, if you will, on the bottom to try and get that groove in, but I have been told from Tanner, and as he told you before, that bottom groove may become a factor here before we're all said and done here tonight, but I'm definitely thinking middle to high is where you're going to want to be.
Yeah, last night in the truck race, the bottom groove, during qualification, I really tried to run that bottom groove. I tried to diamond in there just right so I don't hit the apron whatsoever, and just try to get in the gas as quickly as possible to get a good run off. And it salvaged me a top 10 starting position, so... and so I guess I did something right. It didn't get me the pole, but I guess I did do something right. But hey, we got qualifications times getting up there right now. I am seeing one driver that's already on the bottom, and that is Paul Ross. He's a past series champion of the 3-wide Cup Series. Most wins in the entire league from console and iRacing.
And if you want a guy to use it as an example, he's going to be your guy. Many years here on iRacing, as you mentioned. Even on the console, he just has success wherever 3-wide racing has been.
Oh, Paul Ross really exploded his second lap. His second lap was a lot faster.
Absolutely.
Ran a 14.294 compared to Tate Lytle's 14.253. Some bad whammer jammer lap times being posted right now. So we are currently running in the low 14-second bracket. Kind of seeing qualifying still beginning. There is 5 minutes of qualification. There's about 3 minutes left of qualifying before the drivers take the grid. They'll do 2 laps around Bristol since it is less than a mile. Talk about pit road, though, here. We didn't actually get a chance to talk about it, Justin. There's 2 pit roads here. How do you figure out where you're pitting?
And I'm still not quite sure if iRacing is going to make you go all the way around. I guess we'll find that out first caution here tonight. I did see a few guys that were pitted on the backstretch, so we will have some guys using that. But I don't imagine we'll be doing green flag pit stops, but if we will, that's going to be quite the hectic pit road to get onto, even under caution. It's going to be quite crazy here, even under yellow, with everybody trying to get to their box, and it's not the widest pit road we have on the schedule either.
Race officials will usually tell the drivers on how they pit and all that, and that should have been, and obviously it was addressed last night in the drivers' meeting, and as should it probably was addressed here tonight. But yeah, pit road is a very tough deal here, and what I tried to do last night during the practice session, I literally went my pit road when I first got into the session, into the server, my pit box during practice was on the back stretch. So what I did is I took a trip to the front stretch and I just counted how many pit boxes were on that front stretch. And there was about a good 17, 18 pit boxes on that front stretch. Well, here was my theory. I was like, okay, if I can qualify within the top 15, my pit box should be on the front stretch so I know where my pit box is. So that's just, and I qualified 9th last night in the truck race. So that gave me a good indication of where my pit box was.
And that's, when you're in the heat of the moment racing, it's not the easiest thing to figure out where your pit box is. I mean, some people might say, well, just look where the line is. Well, around here, this track almost looks identical, both on the backstretch and the front stretch. So, again, we're going to be doing 200 laps around here. That's about 400 corners you're going to have to negotiate. It's, you got a lot to think about here, and getting to pit road, again, not going to be the easiest thing.
Not going to be the easiest thing either, and I think that racetrack is just not going to be the easiest. From your past experience as well here at Bristol, how do you pass on a track like this when your tires are starting to wear? Let's just say you're about 15, 20 laps into a run, and you got a guy ahead of you. You're just following him around the racetrack, and all of a sudden you feel like you're faster than him. How do you make that pass?
And that's the million-dollar question, Tanner. It's with this, it seems like it's going to be a little easier with that bottom groove being able to work here tonight. But it's going to be really the question of which line is going to be the fastest, and if you're better on the opposing line. At the high side, you're going to be able to possibly slide job it up. But if you're not going to have enough momentum, you could run right in front of the guy and possibly take you both out and cause a huge wreck.
All right, let's go to the qualifying results since qualifying has concluded and we're ready to start gridding. All right, well, they're all 160,000 virtual race fans are ready to go. Tate Lytle gets the pole here tonight for the Race Kings Cup Series. He runs a 14.253 on the pole for tonight's festivities. Paul Ross will start in second. His teammate Sam Close will start in third. There's Cameron Rich, your championship point leader, in fourth, and rounding out the top five, Andrew Rucker. Matt Hackathorn is currently in sixth. Dylan Hickey, he's a rookie, will start in seventh. Wade Lear in eighth. Johnny Thomas in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Jordan Teal. Go ahead, Justin, with the rest of the next 10.
Russ Webb is going to start 11th here tonight, with Levi Zielinski starting 12th. Chuck Sweeting going to be starting 13th, Nathan Velez 14th. Randall Faulks, 15th. He was pretty good last week at Rockingham. Chad Brown is going to start 16th. Michael Skinner, 17th. Mike Stevens, 18th here tonight. Christopher Munger is going to be starting 19th. And Louis Salmaso going to be rounding out the top 20.
Brent Miller is in blackjack position, starting 21st tonight. Kyle Hanshaw in 22nd. Steve Ketman will start 23rd. James Duke, 24th. He's another rookie. Richard Hines in 25th. League organizer, Corey Lindsay starts 26th. Kevin Finn starts 27th. And Mr. Nick Miller, like that Hooters paint scheme, rounds out the 28 cars that'll start tonight's event.
And Tanner, I don't know about you, but short track racing under the lights, there's nothing better than that. It gets me so excited. And I'm about ready to kick off these 200 laps here.
We should always sell out at these Bristol Motor Speedway events, and usually back in the day, as far as I know, Bristol was the hardest tickets to get in NASCAR. Well, if you're a virtual race fan, hey, it could be the hardest 3 wide tickets to get. But hey,
absolutely.
But hey, I tell you what, let's talk about the car details here. These drivers are not running 100% full fuel load. Every single driver is running the same setup. It is a fixed setup league here, folks. Fixed setups here. Every driver's running the same setup, same tire pressure, same everything. 75% fuel load is the fuel capacity in these cars, so that's about 14 gallons are in these fuel cells. So that's going to be approximately, I want to say, about 85 to 90 laps that they can make it on fuel, but we don't think fuel should be an issue. 200 laps these drivers are going to be running here tonight. It's like you being caught in a blender. You're going around and around and around. Calamity happens. It's a non-stop thing. And the weather tonight here, overcast, 65 degrees. The track temperature is the same as the air, 65 degrees, relatively cool. With the winds, it's pretty windy out there with 13 miles an hour coming from the southeast section. Base lights are turned off. 1 to go this time by, and we are getting ready to go. Final thoughts, Justin, before we go green.
It's just going to be exciting to see which line's going to prevail here, especially on the restarts. We know in real life that bottom line was having a bit of problems getting going. Don't think we'll see the same issue here, but definitely going to be interesting to see which line is going to prevail here, both in racing and on restarts.
Absolutely. I just wonder if there's going to be any kind of wheel spin on these restarts, if drivers tend to stay out or take 2 tires. But here we go. Pace car is about to turn to the left. They're a little ways from the pace car, that's for sure, but nonetheless, it's going to be Tate Lytle who receives the outside row, and green flag. We are racing at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the 2018 Race King Cup Series. First time in degrees of banking of 26 to 30 degrees. Tate Lytle out front. Here's Cameron Rich, championship point leader, who started 4th. Just really, I mean, I think he got a better restart than Tate Lytle. Tate Lytle leads the first lap of the evening. That's a bonus point to him. Cameron Rich in second. 3rd place is Paul Ross. 4th place is Sam Close, and rounding out the top 5, Wade Lear in the 03.
Tate Lytle with about that half or full car open with
got
cautions out on the front stretch.
Oh, we got a calamity on the front stretch here at Bristol. A bunch of drivers getting involved here. I am seeing the number 88 Rusty Webb involved.
I think the 63 Mike Stevens also involved. I'm not sure how much damage he has. See, the front end is pretty tore up. Trying to get caught up of.
I think there was either some contact or there was some contact between the 26 machine of
Oh,
Chuck
wow.
Sweeting and Rusty Webb down the front straightaway. Wow, the 51 car actually almost squeaked by. Looks like Skinner's involved. Skinner actually got tagged by the 63 of Stevens.
And you saw on the replay there, it looked like the 88 didn't quite have the power all the way off the corner, and the 26 wasn't really expecting that, and just tagged him in the right or the left rear quarter panel and started all that.
The complications of short track racing, and a lot of times that just happens.
You just can't get away from anybody, Tanner, can you?
No, you cannot. It's like I said, it's like it feels like you're being caught in a blender. It's nonstop. But I tell you what, pit road is open. Not really any of the drivers have pitted. None of the leaders, I should say. I am seeing Mike Stevens, who did hit pit road. Another driver did hit pit road was Nick Miller. Don't know if he got any damage. I don't think he did. Rusty Webb is on pit road. So is Chuck Sweeting in the 26.
And only 4 laps into it, and already a little bit of trouble, as we mentioned. And that's one thing I don't think we mentioned quite enough, Tanner, is just how close these guys are running toward, or how close they are to each other off the corner. And I won't be surprised if we see a lot more of that tonight, just with not getting off the corner all that well, especially once these tires start to wear off.
Yeah, with so many cars in a small space, contact is almost inevitable here at Bristol. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes they do say if you don't have a scratch or any kind of dents and that car is perfectly clean, wherever you finish on the track, it means you weren't trying hard enough. But sometimes that always is not true. But pace car lights should go off this time by. There should be a quick yellow flag right here. Let's kind of I want to keep an eye on the pace car here on my end.
Lights are still on.
Lights are still on, so we're still going under the yellow flag. Tate Lytle, Cameron Rich, Paul Ross, Sam Close, and Wade Lear still round out your top 5.
And Matt Hackathorn going to be 6th, Dylan Hickey 7th, Andrew Rucker 8th, Johnny Thomas 9th, and Levi Zielinski going to round out your top 10 there. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of Johnny Thomas here tonight. You mentioned it last night in the Truck Series. Did very well, and pretty good short track racer himself.
I'm seeing the number 87 car, Richard Hines, actually, he did make a pit stop here. Don't see any apparent damage on his number 87 Ford Fusion, the American Cancer Society Ford Fusion. Nor the Exalta Chevrolet of Corey Lindsay. Corey's got damage? Oh, yeah, he does. Oh, and the 87. Yeah, they do. They all have damage. Okay, getting report here that they do have damage. Okay, yep, now I see. Okay. 1 to go right now. All drivers are double filed up, ready to go. There was no lucky dog, obviously, since there was the first early caution of the early stages here, less than 10 laps. Tate Lytle receiving the outside low this time once again, and he's got to hold off a hard charging, well, 3 cars right there, Cameron Rich, Paul Ross, and Sam Close. So let's see if Tate Lytle can pull away. Bringing them down a little slower this time by. We're back racing at Bristol.
And another good start by Tate Lytle there. The 17, though, not letting him get all too away. They're going to be side by side down the back straightaway.
Side by side entering turn number 3. And right now that higher line operated by Tate Lytle, Cameron Rich. Oh, man, crossover move. Here comes Sam Close trying to get underneath. Cameron Rich side by side in turns 1 and 2. The popcorn position actually is going to go to Paul Ross, because if anything happens to those drivers, he could either get involved in it or just squeak by. Right now, looks like Cameron Rich is actually going to beat Sam Close right there. Man, it just seems like it's so hard to pass somebody if you're on the bottom side of the racetrack. Sam made a fine example of that.
We already see it looks like most cars on that high side haven't had a few many brave souls there on the bottom trying to get that worked in, but you can see there the battle. It looked like the 33 of Jordan 2 got in the wall there. And that's not going to be the first or last time we say that here tonight.
Got passed by the number 4 of Luis Salmaso. Now he's being challenged by Michael Skinner. And actually Skinner kind of dove it in there unless the 33 of Jordan Teal just backed off just a little bit to kind of let him have that line. There's damage on Skinner's car. Teal looks like he's doing okay. There's some actually pretty good racing in the back of the pack, kind of hard charging back here.
And that's the greatest thing about Bristol, Tanner. You know it all too well. There's action everywhere you go.
Yeah, usually, I tell you what, in the first 10 laps after a restart or start of a race, they take up half the the racetrack. And right now, according to my track map, they have already taken half the racetrack.
We'll see. Right. Hearing some guys in the wall there, all the way around the track.
Yeah, sometimes the car just pushes really tight, and you hit that outside wall, and it just bounces you towards the inside just a little bit. It can be a very scary thing.
And Bristol can also be a pretty scary place, Tanner. I'm sure you know. Sometimes maybe you drive it in just a little bit harder than you want to. You tag the wall, and you do that a bit too many times, hard enough, and that car is not going to turn anymore.
Yeah, it's sometimes you want to drive it in hard, but at the same time, it can be costly if you do it. But there's a really good battle in the back of the pack here between the 14 of Kevin Finn, Kyle Hanshaw. He just hit the wall. He's in the wall, and looks like drivers take evasive action. Stevens with some bumper damage is going to go around Hanshaw here.
And that damage from the previous caution we had, but it doesn't look like that's slowing him down too much.
A little bit of a hornet's nest back here, actually, with a bunch of drivers kind of squirming all over the place. Trying to find some good old battles on track. That was one of them. Here's another one. It kind of a little up towards the front, I should say, within the top 10 area. How about the number 20 of Andrew Rucker? Started fifth started fifth, already backed up to 11th. Got past the number 91 of Dylan Hickey, 4/10. Dylan Hickey. Oh, we got a caution on the speedway.
Look like the 26 of Chuck Sweeting again. Not sure if he was involved with anybody else. The 08 on pit road there.
Yeah, I believe it was Chuck Sweeting. Oh, there was some evasive action checkup ahead of Sweeting.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I think Hanshaw. Hanshaw got turned by Stevens, it looks like.
Saw some contact there with the 88 and 26 there, and now everybody's coming down pit road with the 88 looking like a modified now.
Yeah. Hey, the SK modifieds do run here.
They do, and not a whole lot of people run them, if we're being honest.
Pit road is open right now. The leaders have pitted. 4 tires, I assume, will be the call.
See, the 17 looks like off pit road first. A 10.2 stop. May have just taken 2 tires there.
17 did take 2 tires. Yeah, I got an 9.8 on that pit stop. But yeah, it is showing signs that he did take a 2-tire pit stop. I am showing currently Hanshaw. Did he stay out? No. We're passing. I got live time and scoring kind of resetting itself right here as the drivers come across the line. But yeah, you're right. Cameron Rich took 2 tires to get that race lead. He knew how hard it was hard to pass Tate Little, even though he did try to go for it on the restart, just could not get the pass done. And that was one thing last night with the truck race. Sam Close stayed out. 7 cars last night in the truck race stayed out. Sam Close was the race leader, and Sam actually he pulled away. Myself and Levi, I took 2 tires, but I got passed by Levi eventually, and he was on 4 tires. He made it up to second, and he was gunning down Sam. The caution came out right at the right time. Sam was able to hang on to the race lead and practically hang on to the race lead throughout the rest of the night and win the truck race. So Sam trying to sweep the weekend here at Bristol, and currently in 4th. So maybe Cameron is kind of pulling off that same strategy.
Possibly just, seeing how it works here tonight as well. That was only about a 20-lap run there with that caution in between. Quite interesting to see. Obviously, that wasn't quite enough laps there, but interesting to see if that affects the handling at all and see if he loses anything.
Very interesting to see. Yeah, Rich is the only driver on 2-tire. Another 2-tire guy is Jordan Teal, currently in 8th place. And Kevin Finn, too, as well. So that's 8th and 9th place that took 2 tires. So, and they were outside that top 10. I'm sure they're trying to search for some track position. We got the 1-to-go signal this time by. So Cameron Rich, currently your race leader, looks like he's going to choose the outside row. That is actually the preferred groove here tonight. Preferred starting position, as it was in the truck race.
And really, no surprise there.
Yep.
Kind of knew that was going to be the dominant line, but I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen a lot of guys try that bottom line here. But we're only 20 laps into it, so about 25.
Yeah, you just don't, just in case that second place car just gets that good restart. But here we go. Cameron Rich already on the loud pedal. We're back green flag racing. Nice jump by Cameron. Good start by the fourth place driver, Sam Close, already trying to battle for second place on Tate Lytle. Ooh, Tate Lytle slammed the door on Sam.
And what a restart that was by Cameron Rich. Took out about 4 car length lead there into 1, and almost a little bit of contact you saw there between the 56 and the 5. But now Tate Lytle starting to close back in a little bit in that middle groove with Cameron just about all the way to the wall there.
First side-by-side battle I just seen was Paul Ross and Wade Lear. Wade Lear still trying that bottom groove. Oh, we got a caution.
Another caution. That's a pretty good wreck back in the pack. 46, 48, 15 involved in that. I believe the 88 might have been involved once again. Take a look at the replay here. Oh!
Yeah.
Look at a checkup there, and
a little bit
48.
Yeah, it looked like an accordion effect. Oh, yeah, it just turned into the outside wall. Scat with Mike Skinner, yeah. Bunch of drivers. Man, everything happened so fast. Yeah.
And there's also just really nowhere to go here. It's so small.
It's so small, yeah. Oh, that's very unfortunate right there. Yeah, look at that.
I know speaking to Michael last week, wasn't happy with the result he had last week, and obviously it's going to be another poor finish here tonight. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was expecting a good finish last night in the trucks as well, but it just did not happen for Skinner. So hopefully it's a better luck next week. All right, so the race leaders did not come down pit road. It was a quick caution, so they're all going to keep their track position here. Anybody else decide in the back of the pack to make a pit stop? I don't think they did. I'm kind of looking here. Oh, we got a couple of them. Richard Hines is there, but he's got some damage. James Duke's down pit road. Nick Miller. Rusty Webb, he's been seeing some trouble here tonight. Dylan Hickey. So I'd say at least the top 17 cars have stayed out.
And with those 2 tires, again, once a very good restart, that 17. Obviously, it wasn't the longest run, but obviously showing that that short of run may be able to work with 2 tires.
Yeah, and it's all about track position here, and you know that, Justin. Track position is crazy, but...
And it can almost be like Talladega, you know, you get out of the line a bit too far, and all of a sudden you're getting freight trained, and all of a sudden you're in the back of the pack, because there's just really no way to pass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't agree more to that. And it's harder. I want to say it's almost harder on short tracks, though, than super speedways. Yeah, there's a lot of drafting fun. You go back in the pack, but eventually you can work your way up. And it's not like Bristol, to where you really got to be 100% focused, including on a straightaway, because everything comes up so fast. You have to hit your marks just right. Talladega or Daytona, it's more like just kind of flat out checking up here and there, you know, just kind of keep an eye on what's going on around you. Here at Bristol, man, you just got to keep driving your line. You can't really worry about what's going on in your rearview mirror or where that guy is.
Absolutely. It's both type of tracks, easy to fall back in the pack. It's just Bristol, it's going to be very much harder to get all that track positions back, because the lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to go green here.
Cameron Rich, hey, look at this bottom groove he's picking right now. There's Justin.
Yeah, trying to shake it up a little bit, maybe experimenting with that bottom line, see how it works out for him.
Called that out too about that bottom line last time, before they were going green. All right, the Boeing Ford of Isentech Enterprise of Cameron Rich, number 17, is going to be coming to the green flag here with Tate Lytle, Sam Close, Paul Ross, and Wade Lear rounding out the top 5. Let's go green flag racing here once again. And, oh, Tate Lytle anticipated that start. Looked like he thought the leader was going to go. We're back racing.
And another great start by Cameron Rich there. About 2 car lengths he pulled out that time, and I'm sure they're going to be hunting him down within the next couple laps here.
Damn close. Tate Lytle going at it for position for second. Oh, man, he had to check up just a little bit. He looks like he was going to push tight. Paul Ross still sitting up there in 4th position. Oh, caution
and another
again.
caution.
Yep, it looks like it's the back of the pack again.
See the 76 of James Duke once again, another modified here tonight, and it looks like Nick Miller involved on that one. Take a look at the replay here. Oh, looks like the 87 hit the back of Nick Miller. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe not on the gas quite enough.
Yeah, that was Nick Miller getting punted right there by the 87 of Richard Hines. Man, I tell you what, Stevens was almost getting run over. He's trying to pull away. They checked up for the 63. That was the reason. Oh,
also saw the 89 there a little slowed up too. Maybe something happened between those two drivers. Not quite sure. On board the 76 of James Duke. And that's where he's going to lose the nose, right there.
Man, I'd say just take out the modifieds and put the Cup car engines in there.
Absolutely. It's kind of what it's looking like here tonight.
Oh, Lordy. Well, the bumpers are off, and maybe we'll see after the race tonight, the fists will fly.
Absolutely. And one thing we did notice last night, Tanner, last week at Rockingham, I'm not quite sure if you noticed it, but up in the officiating booth, we saw Paul Ross with no nose, and he was still really surprisingly competitive with no nose. Obviously, I don't think it's probably going to be the same deal here, but that was quite the interesting side. I had never seen that before.
Yeah, and you can sit there, people can sit there and say, oh, he probably had a fast repair. I'm sorry, people, but there is no fast repairs in the 3-wide racing league whatsoever. It's practically if you're damaged and you got a blown engine, you're done. And we actually do have a rule tonight, speaking of damage and done.
Yes.
If you are 11 laps down or more, you will be parked for this evening's festivities. So Michael Skinner will be the next one that'll do that, but he's not there, and he's not on track right now.
We do have Stephen Kettman and Christopher Munger, 21 and 22 laps down, respectively.
Yeah, it's a 6-11 rule. 11 laps means you're parked.
And obviously that's just going to be to make sure that the damaged car is not going to be in the way or an obstruction possibly to the leader. It's just more of a safety thing.
I love it.
Yes, actually, the 55 is on track 22 laps down. That's interesting.
That is interesting. That would have to be called out on the race officials' discretion right there. But there is a rule regarding that. It's supposed to be 11 laps, so I have to keep an eye on. We'll keep you updated on this story right here as the night progresses. But nonetheless, we should receive the 1-go signal this time they're coming on the front stretch now.
And I don't think they. Before I was the off-track official. I don't think they filled that spot tonight. So obviously Corey. Oh, okay. The off-track official did not show up tonight. We're being told. So I can guarantee you that if I was still up there, I'd be all on that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, Kevin Finn is actually the freshest guy on tires. He's back there in 17th. Top 16 drivers are on the older tires by about 18, 17 laps as far as green flag tires are concerned. But we haven't had a long green flag stint to really show these tires. But here we go. We're back green flag racing at Bristol. Cameron Rich, another great restart. Side-by-side for second. Tate Lytle and Sam Close. No, I take that back. Now it's all Levi Zielinski and Paul Ross. And I tell you what, Levi last night was doing great in the Truck Series after starting on the pole, and he did finish second last night. Levi is looking for a great night here tonight in the Cup Series here at Bristol. About to be passed by the number 51 of Randall Faulks, who is a NoBull4 driver.
Yeah, finished second last week, and a fantastic finish between him and Cameron Rich. Cameron getting the win there, and see Levi stuck on that inside line, and unfortunately fell back about 2 positions. Was battling with the 18. Now he's going to be behind the 51 with the 03 of Wade Lear, possibly on the charge there.
Nothing happening up towards the front, but I will keep an eye on it as I'm kind of going through the field as well. Ooh, Cameron Rich may have gotten a little high. Maybe or maybe not kiss the wall, but I tell you what, Tate Lytle, he's in sights right now. So if they start battling, we'll bring it to you. But there is some good side-by-side battling going on within the top 10. How about Matt Hackathorn? We haven't heard from him too much tonight. Currently in 8th. battling side by side with Luis Salmaso. Salmaso started 20th up there in the top 10.
And another
Thomas.
Luis, another pretty notable guy, usually in the top 10 every week. See there, Matt going to lose the position to the 83. Battle for the lead heating up a little bit here.
Heating up just a little bit indeed. Tate Lytle putting the pressure on Cameron Rich. Just what he's trying to do is if he can get the good runs on corner exit. Right now he's getting a good run on entrance, but on exit it's just hurting him.
On board here with the 56, and one thing's for certain here tonight, that 17 has been on the money on restarts, but he gets away for about a lap or two, and then the 56 right back on his tail.
Can't necessarily really pull away here at Bristol now, unless you got a super duper fast race car or the thrash tires, but hey, everybody's driving the same setup. On camera right now, that would be, who's that back there? Brent Miller, Richard Hines, Corey Lindsay. Look at Corey on the bottom side of the racetrack making some moves. He just got around his teammate, I believe, Brent Miller.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Work very well together.
That is back.
A little bit of damage on the 00 on the back bumper. Obviously not going to hurt it too much, but I'm sure a lot of guys are going to have some bent up bumpers by the end of this race.
Yep, Corey passed Brent for 17th position.
And just in front of him, the 63 of Mike Stevens noted earlier the torn up bumper on him, and said before it wasn't going to slow him up. It's he's still chugging along there. The 16th position, albeit, but pretty steady right now.
Mike Stevens doing a good job. He is top 10 in the point standings. I'm sure that's giving him a lot of confidence booster that he's really capable of running up front. I believe he's capable of running up front every single week. That's just my opinion. I know Mike can do it. Right now, he's kind of being battled by Corey Lindsay. Right ahead of him is a battle between the 91 of Dylan Hickey and Chad Brown. Nice run on corner exit for Mike Stevens to get side by side with Chad Brown. This is all a battle. I want Dylan Hickey on this battle as well. So that's 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th positions trying to battle for position. Corey Lindsay really passed. Actually, Chad Brown falling back a couple positions now on that bottom side.
And just going back to Mike Stevens, as the 91 tags the wall there on the straightaway, Mike's going to get the run in and going to possibly slide up here. He's going to make that pass and move up to the 14th position as the 91 gets back underneath, crosses under.
Got a NoBull4 drivers going at it right now for 4th place. That's Paul Ross and Randall Faulks. Randall's trying to operate that bottom side, bottom to middle groove, trying to get the run on Paul. Ooh, Paul
gets the wall. The 51 a little bit loose there.
Wow.
I thought that 51 was goner, but he gathered it back up somehow.
Man, that was scary for Levi Zalitsky, because Levi Zalitsky is sitting right behind these cats right here.
They wreck, really nowhere to go.
Paul's just doing his own. He's just trying to hold his line, hold his position. Faulks wants the position. Faulks is a rookie in this series, but eligible for the NoBull4 if he wins tonight's festivities. He's going for it. This is a battle for 4th.
To the inside, going to be side by side. I think Paul's going to have the momentum off the corner, and it almost got close there on exit.
Ever so... Oh, Paul's in the wall. I was just about to say, ever so close, ever so fast around Bristol. Side by side for 4th. Faulks trying hard, desperately to get by Paul Ross. Ross is trying to get them runs on corner exit.
And that's the thing about that high side. You're always going to have the momentum off the corner exit on that high side better than the inside line there. And that's really what's hurting the 51 at the moment.
Burn off them tires. Yeah. It's a difficult thing to do. Nothing really happened up towards the front there, but I do believe might be a battle for 2nd place, even though there is a battle for 4th, because guess what? Close has caught Lytle, but Close hasn't been able to do anything with Lytle just yet. That's something we'll just have to keep an eye on as that battle for 4th has kind of calmed down a little bit. Looks like Faulks may have burnt off them right sides. Gonna have to settle in line to cool off the tires just a little bit. And this is actually, I think this is the longest green flag run of the evening right now.
Yes, it is. And one thing that I don't think a lot of people really bring to light here, you know, Tanner, I'm sure you felt this. This is sim racing, but you're still operating a wheel with force feedback. by the end of 200 laps, 400 corners, you can get really wore out. I remember racing here a lot of times and just being completely wore out and hurting just a little bit the next day.
I'll never forget it. The 3Y Racing League was at Road America maybe a couple of years ago, but I tell you what, they're going around lap traffic right now. This is Calamity Corner. Dad's going around number 76 of James Duke. Here goes Faulks again. I'll hold off my comment on Road America here in a second, but right now we got a battle for fourth. Faulks is trying to go after Ross again.
And I'm sure Faulk doesn't want anything more just to get on that line that the 18 is in, just to try and get something. It's I believe you mentioned it before, that inside line can burn off the tires just a little bit quicker as Paul moves to the middle line there on exit.
Great camera shots by our director, Mr. Carlos Acosta, on board right now. I do believe that is with Sam Close.
Oh, and the 56 is going to go around. Paul's going to hit him.
Oh!
Some rear end damage for Tate Lytle.
Little bit of contact.
See the replay here. The 5 and the 56 just to get together the slightest bit. Paul nowhere to go.
That second hit to the 56 really damaged the bumper of Paul Ross.
As we're all going to go down pit road here.
That looked like a racing mistake. Pit road should be open this time by for all drivers, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers are screaming for tires.
Yeah, and the 56, just looking at the replay there, on board the 18 of Paul Ross there, just a little bit low, I believe, on the 56, and I don't think Sam Close quite expected that, and contact ensued.
I don't know if this looks like the top 5 drivers. I'm just looking at this now. Top 5 drivers have stayed out.
Actually, no, here they come.
Oh, they're coming in now. Wow. Did they miss pit road, or because if others stay out after pitting?
I believe it might not be enforced that you have to go all the way around, as this is the front stretch pit road.
This was the front stretch pit road, and usually when pit road opens, you go down your respective pit road under green or caution flag. So right now, either way, Cameron Rich is getting 4 tires, Sam's getting 4 tires. Wade Lear's getting 4 tires. They're all in the way. Cameron is done. Sam Close is out second. Wade Lear third. Tate Lytle, the pole sitter for this evening's race, is still on pit road. Wow.
And Levi Zielinski, I'm not sure if he didn't come down pit road or not, but he is currently scored as the leader.
He did pit.
Oh, he did, okay.
Actually, every single driver, with the exception of Chuck Sweeting and Nick Miller, have made a pit stop. So it was either those top 5 drivers just did not, they didn't know the pit road was open. But this will, according to time and scoring, Levi is the leader.
With Luis second.
Probably bringing one of the drivers. Who are we bringing in? Sam?
Cam.
Oh, Cam, Mr. Cameron. Yeah, let's ask Cameron Rich. Cameron Rich, do you have a copy?
What's going on?
Hey, Cameron, what's going on here? You were a race leader, and top 5 of you stayed out, but now you pitted, and you find yourself in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that damn pace car flew past me, hit the wall, and then disappeared. I didn't know what the hell to do.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know that deal. And Justin, you know it too with that pace car here at Bristol.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, I do believe we do have the 1 to go signal right now, so we're going to have to let you go, Cam. We're just curious on what was all happening.
Yeah, for once it wasn't my fault, I don't think.
Hopefully get back up there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Cameron Rich.
And we know he's a rocket ship on restarts. Have to see how he maneuvers through this field here. It'd be quite interesting to see as he's all the way back to 14th position.
Yep. All right, so they're going green right now, folks. Pace car's going to make a hard left. It's Levi Zielinski, Luis Salmaso, Johnny Thomas, Andrew Rucker, and Chad Brown, the top 5. We're back racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And it's Levi on the button this time. Salmaso's going to get second. Johnny Thomas third.
Calamity Corner right here. Dylan Hickey, Mike Stevens is in the top 10. All these guys.
It almost looked like a few guys were on the apron there. They were so far down.
Modified driver of the night, Rusty Webb, is up there in the top 10 and still running hard.
We know we have a few modified guys there. You know, James Duke and Rusty Webb. And looking like he's still running pretty well right now. currently actually in the 10th position with that modifier. That's impressive.
That's impressive, and holding off Cameron Rich, but actually Cameron really doesn't have anywhere to go right at the moment. He's going to go on to the bottom to follow the number 14 of Kevin Finn. Man, this is the hornet's nest right here.
Absolutely. Track's really blocked for Cameron right now. 3 wide obviously will not work, so he's going to have to be a little bit patient right now and work through this field.
Yeah, Wade really good. Looked like he got a little loose. I just seen that. Tate Little's in this mix as well. Your pole sitter who just got involved in that recent accident. Oh, he almost flipped the wall. 51 of Randall Faulks.
And I know a lot of these guys who are running first, second, third might be just a little bit frustrated that they're all the way back in here, but patience obviously going to prevail here in this situation. Oh, and the 14's going to win.
That's Kevin Finn. Oh, man. Good call there, Justin, on the Kevin Finn part. That just happened on the corner of my eye.
Just started seeing him slide. I don't think he got hit. Oh, Cam got him. Take a look at the replay there once again. His back stretch, and he'll be on the front stretch. Possibly slid up just a little bit. Yep. 17, just a little bit more momentum, and not sure if Cam didn't realize that or not, or maybe
oh boy,
just trying to get through the field as quick as possible.
Director, do we have an onboard of Mr. Paul Ross? Because I don't believe he hit Kevin Finn.
Take a look here.
He just moved by. I know he got damaged, and that was from the previous incident with Tate Lytle.
Here we are on board.
Oh,
so close.
Oh.
He might need a new pair of drawers after that one. That was I'm telling you.
I think I just need a new pair. I'm just sitting up here in the booth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Peyton, that being said, none of the leaders have pitted. And Johnny Thomas thought about faking it there. All right. But Cameron Rich made it up to 10th place, too. So, got a few more drivers to get through. It looks like passing is just so hard to do, especially when you're in traffic like that. We just seen that with Cameron. But, man, oh, man.
Especially when you got guys fighting in front of you and the track is essentially blocked. I'm telling you, you don't need patience here, but Tanner, you know as well as I am, by the end of this race, you're going to run out of patience.
Might run out of patience, but I don't care who you are. You got to have patience. Yes. And I'm not just talking just Bristol. That's technically wherever you go, because if you start driving like crazy, you're going to burn out the tires. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to force mistakes. And I got received word James Duke is the lucky dog on this lap, so James Duke will get one of those laps back.
And knew last week he might have just, we don't have an award, but he should have gotten the hard charger. He went from about, I believe it was about 5 laps, just about getting DQ'd with the modified nose on him, and he worked his way back all the way to 2 laps down. It was quite the drive. Worked the cautions just in his favor.
All right, let's pull up the race summary here so far. See on screen, leader Levi Zielinski, laps completed 83 out of 200 here tonight. Laps remaining 117 laps. That's 2 lead changes. That's crazy. 2 lead changes here at Bristol, and we've already seen 6 cautions in the first 83 laps of this evening's event.
And we've had 28 of those 83 laps under caution. So I believe we're going to get the 1 to go here. Yes, we will.
1 to go this time by.
And producer, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I may be thinking of another league, but I believe halfway we get points awarded. Top 10 gets points, so yeah, lap 100. So just a little bit more incentive to get up there in that top 10.
Top 10 gets points indeed, and it's always probably pretty cool to get that extra bonus point, though, if you lead that halfway point, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so Levi Zielinski is going to lead Luis Salmaso, Johnny Thomas, Andrew Rucker, and Jordan Teal rounding out that top 5. Going back green flag racing, here goes Levi.
On the money once again.
Yep, it seems like when you're the race leader, you want, oh, what a move by Johnny Thomas. Thought about taking that outside roll away. That was actually going to be a good move.
Yeah, that was going to be close. I think he knew it and backed out of that. And he'll just try and go on the attack once again.
Hornet's Nest, though, back here, I want to say...
trouble! The 63!
Going around.
Lost it. Not sure if he had contact. Are they
He's
not going to
still
save it? No. Someone's going to go around.
Paul Ross is around. Paul Ross is on track. Oh, him and Richard Hines made contact and collision.
Oh, what a shame.
I am so glad. Wow, we definitely caught the incident here as we were talking.
Just saw the 63. I think he may have gotten loose. No, I think the 17 may have.
Yeah, he was already loose, and then he got punted in the back bumper, which did not help.
That's what I had saw, just the 63 starting to lose it, and I knew that was going to be big when I saw everybody behind him.
Oh no, Paul Ross is involved.
Yeah. Tagged both, I believe, the inside and the outside wall, unfortunately.
I was just going to get to the point, too, on a little bit update on our 4 NoBull4 drivers.
Oh, yeah, the 63 just got Paul. Missed that inside wall and unfortunately hammered the 87 there.
Oh, dang gone.
That's a shame. Was running very well, too. Top 5 most of the night.
What happens when you run top 5 most of the night and then you find yourself in the middle of the pack, and that's where the calamity is, and sometimes you're just beating your head on your steering wheel. It's like, man, oh man.
Yeah, I've been in those positions. It's no fun. You know you have a fast car. It's just there's really nowhere to go, and you want to get through there as quick as possible. Yeah, the 17 there we see some front end damage.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. 17 cars got some front bumper damage. But again, we've seen drivers with, running with the modified running out here in the top 10 like Rusty Webb. So
I think we have a new driver in that club. I believe it was the 80 or 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. Yes. New club member of the modified clubs here tonight.
Start calling these Bristol short track race. Any short track 3-way goes to should just see who's going to join the modified club.
Yeah.
Alright, again, the leaders did not pit.
Oh, and I believe the 63 may have just joined that as well. A rough night for Mike Stevens gone to worse, unfortunately.
Don't you just hate that, where you feel you're running in the top 10 in points, and then all of a sudden you have a bad race, and it can really let you down too.
Yeah, it could be a love-hate relationship too. You know, Bristol. There's a possibility this could happen, and you just hate that it happens.
Driver, I'm kind of seeing. Did he get damaged at all? Yeah, he did. I was gonna say we haven't heard talk too much about Corey Lindsay, but he's sitting there on pit road with the modified.
Yeah. So far, we know 5 guys at least part of that modified club.
Do want an update. I was just going to do it last time by. A lot of action going on here. Update of our NoBull5 drivers. We got 4 of them here tonight. Luis Salmaso, or NoBull4 drivers. Luis Salmaso is the highest driver right now, sitting in 2nd. We got the one to go signal this time by. The other driver, Cameron Rich. Oh, Luis not. Oh, he's not eligible.
He does not have the red number, so...
if you don't have the red number, you're not eligible. So we got 3 of them tonight. Cameron Rich. I think the other one was Paul Ross.
Yes, and
Randall Faulks.
Oh, okay,
Faulks is currently 15th. Ross is 21st. And Cameron Rich is 7th.
Leader's been on the money on these restarts all night. Imagine we'll see the same here.
Yeah, if you're the race leader, you got the advantage right now. Here it goes again. See ya.
Wouldn't want to be at about 3 car lengths as we've always seen, not going to let him get up too far ahead.
Andrew Rucker doing a very good job in the top 5 this evening, and he's wants to go for more, almost making contact with the number 4 of Salmaso. Salmaso may not be eligible for that NoBull4, but I tell you what, he's eligible for a win. Oh, we got a car blinking like crazy. That's Andrew Rucker. Might be some connection interference going on. Internet connection interference.
Cameron Rich.
Big wreck. Huge wreck. Chad Brown was... Yeah, I was just about to say, it's Calamity Corner back there with a hornet's nest of drivers. That was,
Oh, some more contact. The 64 and the 51. I don't think they're very happy with each other. Yeah, Randall's on the modified club now.
Oh, Nick Miller got involved in that. Nick Miller tried going through the middle there. He was like a pinball machine. This is the big action. Sam Close, I believe, was involved in that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure who we're on board with there, but Randall Faulks there. We're on board with Randall Faulks. Excuse me, I keep forgetting there's an S in his name. And you can see there's some contact between the 64 and the 51. I don't think they were quite happy with each other.
As soon as I thought
Randall's out.
Randall's out, he took it to the garage. But I tell you what, ever since that 33 of Jordan Teal got turned, everybody was a pinball machine in that mess right there.
Yeah. Just completely track clogged there, nowhere to go. And Tanner, it's the unfortunate situation of cautions breeding cautions here tonight.
That's Bristol. When you come to Bristol, and it's always been known for that, not just on iRacing, but also in real life. There's a lot of, even the professional drivers, they crash a lot. I think the most cautions I've ever seen a short track in a NASCAR race, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, you might know this, Martinsville with like 20-some cautions?
I believe, yeah, Martinsville 2011. Don't have, I think you're about there, maybe 17, not sure the exact number, but I do remember this race.
Hey, we're up to 8 now.
Yeah, the 37 caution laps taking up the 98 we've run here tonight. That's still crazy there. Only 2 lead changes tonight.
I think the top 10 are going to get the points here because we are 103 laps remaining. So we're 3 laps to go until we reach the halfway point. Now it's going to be 2 laps to go once they come across the start-finish line, which is...
I believe we might take 1 to go this time by, so I think halfway maybe when we take the green, so probably going to be your top 10. Obviously, that's just a guess, but
I do believe the race leader, whoever leads the halfway point, gets an extra bonus point.
Well,
leading that halfway point.
Levi might just I won't say luck into it because he's held his own ever since he got to the lead tonight, but
there is a halfway bonus at lap 100.
And pace car lights are still on, so we are going to. This is going to be your top 10.
I'm gonna check. I'm double checking on that actually right now. Yeah, the top 10 get halfway bonus points for sure. Halfway bonus points that was given last week at Rockingham was 10 bonus points. So I think it goes by increments, so 10, 9, 8, and so forth, all the way down to 10th.
Okay. So I believe we'll be getting the 1 to go this time by, so halfway we'll be taken under caution.
Usually when drivers start lining side by side up, usually that's kind of like a 2 to go indicator. There we go.
All right.
So, right now, coming to the line right now, actually, so the top 10 drivers, Levi Zielinski, Luis Salmaso, Andrew Rucker, Johnny Thomas, Cameron Rich, Dylan Hickey, Wade Lear, Sam Close, Matt Hackathorn, Chuck Sweeting, all will receive top 10 bonus points for that halfway bonus, with Levi Zielinski getting the most of it, because he's leading it.
I believe Andrew may be the odd one out there. I don't believe he's entered for the whole season, so...
no, he's not. You're right. He's not.
Stealing some points.
Yeah.
And Levi out once again as the green flag comes back out.
Trouble in the back. We got drivers in the back. Somebody was on the apron right before we went green. Actually, they were just lap cars, excuse me, trying to get out of the way, trying to get lined up. Oh my god, it scared me. I see at the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, something's happening back there. But nonetheless, look at Cameron Rich go on the bottom. The only
look, 83's going to get hit. Andrew Rucker hits him, and nowhere to go.
Good eyes. Oh, they're still ramming at each other.
Yeah. And cautions just keep breeding cautions here, man. That's so unfortunate.
I was just about to say, look at Cameron, not the only one on the bottom that's really making up the ground. Then all of a sudden, Rucker made contact with Johnny Thomas's left rear quarter panel. That sent Thomas spinning. And wow.
Saw the momentum the 20 had. And 26, Chuck Sweeting just sliding in there. No, probably couldn't stop.
Ooh, Skinner. Ooh, man, yeah, a bunch of drivers. Ooh, and Stevens is involved in that, too. There's an onboard of Mike Stevens in the Coors Light car. Gonna be wrecking up ahead. One boat's...
not working the hands in there.
Yeah, trying to work the hands in there. I think that's just... I don't think that's his actual hands. That's actually working, but oh, look at that. Check it up. He was already spinning coming off the corner.
Probably on the brakes hard and probably just... slid the tires there. I'd have to guess.
Well, I tell you what, if you're Levi Zielinski, you're sitting pretty right now. But I tell you what, there is a change, though. bunch of drivers hit pit road. Levi Zielinski, Luis Salmaso, Cameron Rich, and Dylan Hickey all stayed out. Hickey's down pit road now, so that messed it all up. Cameron Rich, Salmaso, and Zielinski are the only drivers that stayed out. Let's give a talk to Mr. Johnny Thomas here, who was just involved in that incident. Johnny Thomas, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
What happened out there? Looked like you were just kind of riding in line, and looked like on replay that you got clipped in the left rear quarter panel.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. I don't know. I think it was Rucker. I don't know, man. It just sucks. Getting hit by a non-charter, it's ridiculous. I had a good run going. I don't know. I got all the way up to third there. Luis was holding me up. Everybody was freaking holding me up today. But I don't know what he was doing. Rucker just drilling the back of me. It's uncalled for. I don't know why you race like that. You're a freaking non-charter. At least have some respect. But it sucks. We had a good season going so far, and we had some good top 10 runs, and had a chance to win this one. I don't get that too often, but I don't know. It's one of them deals.
Yeah, absolutely. And how bad is the car right now? I do see sitting on pit road, you're 2 laps down, but is the car really that bad to not go out there to try to collect some more points, or?
No, it's junk.
Junk. Well, Justin, do you have any questions for Johnny?
I know it's very unfortunate. I had a pretty tough week last week as well, getting hit there, but it seemed like pretty aggressive out there tonight. You had already mentioned that. Just seemed like there was a lot of aggression out there tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's lap 102. We got 98 laps left, and these guys are racing like it's 5 to go. But that's normal here. That's normal in this league. It's like this every damn week.
All right, well, we're going to have to let Johnny Thomas. Johnny, thank you for taking the time to talk with us this evening, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting this race tonight.
That's Johnny Thomas, who is officially, he's not officially over this race just yet, 3 laps down in 20th, but pace cars down pit road. Levi Zielinski already on the loud pedal. We're back green flag racing. And it was Zielinski, Salmaso, Rich, Close, and Hackathorn, the top 5. Look at that battle for second place going on with Salmaso teammates. Salmaso and Close. Close is back up there in the top 5.
And again, just really not getting anywhere on that bottom line, so and the 17 going to get by the 4 here as well with that nose damage. This track obviously not aerodynamic dependent, but I'm sure that might hurt temps just a little bit.
And here's an example. Look at Hanshaw in the top 10, 7th, driving a modified. He's actually around surrounded by cars, even though Wade Lear trying to with a better looking car than Hanshaw, trying to get around him. This is actually the biggest action-packed part of the race.
Oh, and 64 is going to get hit by the 91. Yeah, no caution.
Nope, nobody got spun. They all hit the wall.
That's pretty impressive for them to save it, especially that 64.
Hey, nothing. I don't know if these guys are going to top my thing last night. I actually went over the catch fence last night.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to beat there.
I'm sure there'll be comments on that in the podcast later in the week. But tell you what, Tate Little's back up there in the top 5 now. He was trying to get by Salmaso, didn't work.
Salmaso finally back up to that high side. Place to be, it appears, tonight. Oh, he's going to get hit by the 56. Tate Lyle's going to hit the 4. 03 Wade Lear going to hit the 4 in the door.
Dead gone.
And once again, we're back under caution.
Yeah, he got clipped in the left rear quarter panel. See what happened on replay. 56.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tagged the 4, it looked like, off the corner, and just kind of slid. Oh, just barely got, the 56 barely got the 4, and the 03, you know, you don't get much time to guess where they're going to be, and unfortunately, of the wrong guess by the 03 of Wade Lear there.
Look at, yeah, compared to where Wade Lear is, usually here in Bristol, you got about a millisecond to really decide where to go.
Very unfortunate. Those guys obviously making up the top 5. I don't think that'll be enough to end their night, but and now the 03 has no front bumper now, so another member of that club.
Man, daggone, just see, a lot of drivers here tonight that had great cars. Johnny Thomas said he had a great car going, and you know, he's taken out. And I'm only seeing two drivers. Oh, actually, one driver stayed out. Sam Close. This might be a good track position move for him. Pulling off the same strategy as last night in the trucks.
And obviously, that's a much longer run than we've had so far here tonight. Not sure when he last came down pit road, but 19
19 laps ago. That's including the caution flags that we ran. So
excuse me, I thought it was much longer than that.
I thought it was too. The only driver that decided to stay out under this caution flag, Levi Zielinski, went down pit road. Cameron Rich, Hackathorn, and Rusty Webb in the top 5, looking like a modified.
It's incredible. It's 2 weeks in a row now we've had modifieds in the top 5. It's just, I don't know how. It blows my mind.
I'm going to pull a Kyle Petty. And look at that, he doesn't even have a bumper either.
Yeah. He's literally got no bumpers left.
That's incredible. I'm sorry, I'm turning into Kyle Petty, but I don't care. That's incredible.
Oh.
Our director's laughing at us.
Next thing you know, I'm going to be like Darrell Waltrip and start singing. Oh yeah, trends of the race. Well, we have 84 laps to go. Your information on Bristol. Half mile, and no rain here tonight. The real world got rained out to tonight, or earlier this afternoon. And once again, there you can see the lead change is only 3 here tonight. That's, as Kyle Petty and Tanner Sharp would say, incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam Close becomes your 3rd different race leader of this race. Levi Zielinski in 2nd. This is kind of shaping up like the truck race, because last night in the truck, it was all Sam Close and Zielinski. Realistically, and there were not a lot of lead changes last night whatsoever. Cameron Rich actually led a couple laps here this evening. He's sitting in 3rd, Hackathorn in 4th, and Rusty Webb is rounding out that top 5. Pace car lights are turned off.
Yeah, those are the wave arounds there.
Yeah, wave arounds trying to get around past the pace car to get to the tail end of the field. Well, Sam Close. Oh, go ahead.
Take that outside.
Yep.
He's led 4 laps here tonight. Levi Zielinski's led 43. He's going to be 2nd. Matt Hackathorn 3rd with no laps led. And Cameron Rich 4th there with 49 so far tonight. And then Chad Brown in 5th with 0. As pace car going to pull in here.
Sam Close has the opportunity to escape the field like every other leader has here tonight, and he does. You can't change lanes before the start-finish line. That is a rule, and look at that. Hackathorn and Sam Close. Hackathorn falling back right now. Here comes Cameron Rich after Levi Zielinski. I'm curious to see what Zielinski's going to do with Sam Close. There is a tire difference between those 2 drivers, along with Cameron Rich. That battle for the lead might just heat up.
Yeah. We know last night Levi Zielinski had a very good night in the trucks, finished 2nd. Oh, and the 5 got into the wall.
He fishtailed it. Oh, it's still fishtailing it. Still trying to fight the wheel a little bit.
Zielinski with the advantage at the moment, entering 3 side by side. 17 into the wall.
Man, where are you going to go, Cameron?
Oh my goodness, look at the momentum he got off of that.
He did. He diamonded that corner, which gave him great momentum on corner exit. Oh,
don't go 3 wide.
Contact, almost 3 wide, too. Hey, that's why we call it 3 wide racing, right?
Yeah, but 3 wide's not going to work here at Bristol. We know that all too well.
No, it ain't going to work. I think you and I tried it one time.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, though, how well this 59 is holding off the 5 here on the inside. Hasn't been able to pass him quite yet, but he's been able to fight side by side with him these past couple laps.
Man, if Levi, he's doing the same thing what he did in the truck race. He's trying to get around Sam Close, trying to get around Sam. He ain't working.
And now he's going to lose 2nd position. Well, not quite yet.
He will, because here comes Cam. Cameron's got just as amount of fresh tires as Zielinski does.
Cam will take 2nd. Now he'll fight after Samuel Close for the lead, who about hits that wall.
Oh, he did.
Both of them in the wall.
Oh, Cameron Rich.
Oh, the 17's losing it.
Rich.
What a save! That's incredible.
That was a Rich save.
So he's only going to lose, 2 positions there. Matt Hackathorn's going to get by. Wow, indeed.
Man, that was a great save. It may have cost Cameron a position, but I tell you what, he's still in the top 5, still running strong. Look at Hackathorn. We haven't talked too much about Matt Hackathorn all this evening. Clean race car. That Toyota is running great. Yeah. Actually, he's got some damage, but it's not slowing him down. So we have to give a shout out to Matt Hackathorn.
Absolutely. Don't get too shouted out to him too often, but it's nice when we do. Funny personality.
Trouble. Kyle Hanshaw's in trouble. Oh, there's trouble back there. No caution. Kevin Finn has actually took the worst of that. Ooh, we can
go to the replay here.
Yeah, see what happened. That was a ricochet kind of a moment. There was Hanshaw did hit the wall on corner exit.
Go to the 9 and
I think it was off of turn number 4. The 9 did a crossover move. And right there. Netcode.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of netcode there. Oh, and the 14 hit by the 46. And hits the inside wall there. I believe the 56 just tagged the wall as well, back in that mess. Excuse me, it was a 63.
Well, during that replay, nothing has changed. Up towards the front, Sam Close, Levi Zielinski, Matt Hackathorn, and Cameron Rich. That top 4, they are running about 9/10 of a second, almost a second within each other. 5th place, 2.5 seconds back, is Chad Brown, who saw some calamity here tonight, and Rusty Webb in 6th.
Now let's give a shout out real quick to Chad Brown. Been involved in a couple incidents here tonight, but has fought back in 5th place, and along with Rusty Webb, we've done a lot about him tonight. But no bumpers, hanging in 6th. It's again, I've never seen it before. It's quite incredible. You get another unintentional Kyle Petty out of me.
Man, there's calamity trouble right here. Nothing about hitting a wall. Kyle Hanshaw's in trouble. He's hit the wall about how many times tonight? Oh!
A little bit more 3 wide there. They're trying it.
A modified 3 wide. Man, we got to have a series in the cars.
Absolutely.
We're already looking at them, looking like them. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, you got 2 modifies racing right there. The 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. Oh, the 03, I was just going to mention, in the wall, but we know a couple times. Hit it right, Tanner. Hit that wall, and it can actually help you a little bit. You don't want to do that every time, but it can help you just a little bit.
And I just don't want to knock out that toe. That's all I don't want to do.
Yeah, that's the thing every driver fears the most. Oh, the 03 going to pull off there.
This is actually, the 03 weight leader and where Hanshaw's at has been the most exciting parts of the racetrack. Nothing really happened with the top 4. They're all running single file on the higher side of the track, separated by 0.8 of a second.
Matt Hackathorn slowly closing that gap on Levi Zielinski. Close all the way back to 3rd.
Well, Close is just, he's lost 2 positions. Hackathorn got around him. Zielinski got around the leaders. Zielinski's back out front. Sam Close is actually just trying to hang on with the Mulder to set the tires, but he's doing a really good job in holding them. If you can hold off Cameron Rich and set the tires, I'll tell you what, you're really doing something right.
Yeah.
I raced with Cameron quite a lot of times. I think it was about 2 years ago in the Cup Series. Him and I worked well at Talladega, but most memorable was a short track. I think it was an all-star event. It was at South Boston in the Cup cars. Him and I were battling for like 25, 30 laps straight. I think Cole, you were up with the booth calling that race.
Yes, that was actually the first full throttle, broadcast we had there. Had a race up there, and tell you what, I remember my first race with Cameron Rich, Atlanta, I believe 2016. He cut me off pit road, and I'm like, well, this guy's going to be quite the nuisance in the league. Boy, was I wrong.
He's a nuisance of winning.
Yes.
That's what he is.
This whole team is,
fast. And the whole team.
It's insane how good that team is. Out of the bag at Daytona, all the way up through Rockingham. See if they can close out here tonight, though. Have a little bit of work to do.
Might have a challenge for the race lead. Here comes Hackathorn on Zielinski.
Trying to get on that inside.
We have not seen a green flag lead change. Actually, tonight was the first green flag lead change. Actually, when Zielinski passed Sam Close for the race lead, that was the first green flag lead change. And Close is actually going around traffic. He's going around Duke.
A member of that modified club there. I'm a little surprised at what I'm seeing, though, Tanner. That 44 seems like... oh, someone's blown up. I've heard, but...
Oh, that ain't good. Man, if you're the race lead...
Yeah, Jordan Teal's in the 33, but getting around some traffic there.
Look at Hackathorn just trying to push a little pressure on Levi Zielinski, especially through traffic. Getting close to the bumper, trying to go to the inside on Zielinski. I know Zielinski wanted to utilize the higher line. Could not use the high line because there was lap traffic there.
And that's one thing I was going to say that's surprising me. It seems like the 44 tonight, he's actually working better on the inside line than I've seen a lot of guys so far tonight.
He's on the same sets of tires as Zielinski, so I totally agree with you, Justin. He is a better driver on the bottom side.
But as we mentioned before, all that momentum is going to be on that high side, and that's most likely where all the runs are going to prevail. Samuel Close has fallen back to fourth with Cameron Rich getting that spot. He's up to third, just behind that battle.
No other battles really on the track. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, at Bristol, that's... Very rarely say that.
Yeah, I'm already getting a sore throat with all the action going on around the track here because, you know, there's so much that goes on around Bristol. I am literally scrolling through to see if there's any battles. Isn't. There is 9 cars on the lead lap. Luis Salmaso is about to get lapped here very shortly from Zielinski.
That's surprising to say how good he was earlier in the race. And just a little under 50 laps to go here.
It's time to go though.
Yes.
So Hackathorn is in that position to try to make something happening. But we got a caution.
The 9 of Nick Miller stopped, entering, I believe that's 1.
Turn 3. Accident turn on the back straightaway. He looks like he got turned by Rusty Webb.
A little bit of blinking there.
Yeah, connection issues maybe? That could also...
Oh, the 91 looked like he checked him up a little bit, and then the 88 kind of finished him off there. Very unfortunate.
All right, with 44 laps to go here at Bristol, pit road's going to open this time by. This is a call down all race leaders to the pits.
Yes, and this might be the final pit stop we make. For some of these guys, may try and choose track position over tires. We've already seen it really early in this race.
Yep, and we just seen it also in that green flag stretch with Sam Close falling back to fourth after having older tires. So here's the pit stops times. This is the times on pit road here. Zielinski is done. 4 tires.
And he will win the battle off pit road. Rich going to get second. Hackathorn third. Samuel Close fourth. And it looked like Chad Brown going to be fifth.
Well, I bet Sam is relieved to have 4 fresh tires. But at the same time, your other competitors, your top 4 competitors who've been running strong all night, they're on the same set of tires that you are on.
Yes, and it looks like 63 may have stayed out possibly to lead a lap. And now he's pulling it down.
Leading a lap for a bonus point.
Yes. I'm sure it's not been the night that he's quite wanted, but, try and get every point you can at this point.
I'm going to let timing and scoring kind of settle itself down here and kind of wait till 2 to go or 1 to go mark to really kind of reset the field for the folks at home that are watching this on 3Wide TV. You are currently watching the 3Wide Racing League's Cup Series. It is called the Race King Cup Series of 2018, race number 4, here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, live here on 3Wide TV. Again, I'm Tanner Sharp, this is Justin Kolb, and doing the production truck to show you all the action is Mr. Carlos Acosta.
Glad you could be here tonight, and it's been quite the race already.
Definitely has been, and we've seen some tremendous action, and we've caught some tremendous action. I've been kind of watching the director's camera here, and we've caught some brilliant action, especially when we're talking about drivers, and it's happening right in front of us as we're talking. We're really capturing it on here tonight, and sometimes it doesn't really always happen at a track like this at Bristol because everything happens so fast. But we're getting it for you folks at home, and under caution here. How many times are we under caution line? Like 10 times now? 11th caution of the evening I'm getting word of. So, yeah, there's your race summary. Levi Zielinski, 159 laps completed, 41 remaining, 10 lead changes. Wow, 10 lead changes. It wasn't that long ago where we just seen 3 lead changes. 11 cautions for 52 laps.
And just to put that in perspective, with the 152 laps we've run here tonight, about a third of that has been under caution. But we have seen, with all those caution laps, a lot of great action here tonight.
All right, I'm going to reset the top 10 for you folks. Levi Zielinski's the leader, Cameron Rich. Matt Hackathorn, Sam Close, Chad Brown, the top 5. Rusty Webb in 6th. Dylan Hickey, Mike Stevens, Luis Salmaso, and Tate Lytle rounding out the top 10. Levi Zielinski's going to get on the loud horn here as soon as pace car heads towards pit road. It's going to be all Zielinski. He is gone. Goodbye. There was someone blinking in the field. Nonetheless, we're back green flag racing. Cameron Rich and Sam Close battling it really hard for second place. That's what you got to do. Take advantage of your fresh tires. Cameron Rich gets second, Close in third. Hackathorn a little ways back is in fourth, and there's Rusty Webb rounding out the top 5. Tate Lytle's around. Caution is out.
And him and the 63 of Mike Stevens appear to be the only two caught up in that record. That's the 63.
Yeah, something happened to.
Wow.
It looked like the 63 just kind of went straight into the wall. And as soon as he hit the wall, the car just started to go for a spin, which spun Tate Lytle.
I don't know if you saw in that replay, but James Duke just absolutely flying around that high side. That was quite close.
Oofa.
Yeah. So obviously a quickie caution there. Don't expect to see any of the leaders coming down pit road here.
Unless you're somewhere in the middle of the field that's going to get more damage fixed up, it ain't
Yes.
gonna, you're not going to see pit road being busy here. But, however, we got a wave around here. Who's our wave around right here for this caution play?
I believe might
Lucky
be the
dog?
9. Yeah, 9's getting the lucky dog here, but he's as you can, he's blinking quite a bit right now. Currently with a ping of 158. That's not too horrible, but quality 93. That's obviously no good.
Nick Miller was received the lucky dog. You're right. So that is going to put 12 cars on the lead lap.
And I think Nick and the only people who had damage would be the only people happy to see that caution. Cameron multitasking actually, talking in chat and racing at the same time with this is a bloodbath, and well,
Where'd he send that to?
he's actually in chat on YouTube at the moment.
Oh, well, multitasking. I thought he was going to
Yeah.
put something on Twitter and pull a Brad.
Well, that'd be equally as impressive.
All right. Well, hopefully we can stay green here soon, get some kind of green flag laps in like we did earlier. Pace car lights are still turned on. Nothing has really changed within the top 10. Actually, a lot's changed within the top 10. Top 4 remain the same. Rusty Webb is in 5th. Brown's in 6th. Hickey is in 7th. Hanshaw 8th. Mike Stevens 9th. Salmaso rounding out the top 10. 11th place, according to time and scoring, was Tate Lytle, but I think now it's going to be Nick Miller since he received lucky dog. Tate Lytle's actually down pit road getting damage repaired. If we do get a caution and he doesn't get gets involved in any incident, it will be Corey Lindsay. They actually got that car with a brand new bumper, or actually put that old bumper back on, because I did say earlier he did look like a modified.
just a quick shout out once again to the 63 of Mike Stevens. With as many incidents as he's been involved in tonight, he's still hanging in there in the top 10. That's really impressive. As we get the one to go. And all night, that leader has been on the ball on restarts.
Yeah, it's very difficult to pass the race leader. That's especially if you're on equal tires as the leader. Good God Almighty! Here we go.
32 laps to go. Levi's gone.
You just got to maintain that race lead.
And most of the times, that's easier said than done. I'm a little surprised that Levi went all the way down to the bottom on that.
Sam close after Hackathorn for third. Got it. And close to third. Hackathorn to fourth.
Chad Brown in fifth. Well, he was involved in an earlier incident as well.
Modified Hanshaw. And Rusty Webb. Sixth and seventh. Actually, this is the biggest battle on track. Here comes Salmaso on the bottom. On Dylan Hickey. Rusty Webb's going to go for a position on Hanshaw.
Modified versus modified driver right there.
I don't know how they're running that fast. I really don't.
I don't either. Both of them missing both bumpers, by the way.
I mean, Salmaso and Hickey should be outrunning those two drivers, but they're not. They're not catching the race leaders. That's one of the things I've noticed. But here comes Hickey on the bottom of. Looks like I'm telling you what, Hanshaw can't get straightaway speed. He's got good corner speed, but straightaway speed is just not there.
Absolutely, but it's oh. I thought there was a little bit of a check up there, but yeah, straightaway speed, obviously, like you said, not his strength at the moment. Really isn't with any of these guys with the front end, but I guess the corner is going to be the great equalizer.
Oh,
and a caution.
Is that James Duke that just went around?
Yeah, you see the 88 trailing smoke there. And unfortunately, I think that might be...
I tell you what,
wow.
I wasn't able to capture that incident. Just because Duke he was so many laps down. It wasn't for position. I was just kind of watching the guys that were battling for position.
Yeah, taking a look at the replay. Oh, tagged the wall a little bit, the outside wall, and
he just wrecked himself on the. Actually, he just snapped loose as soon as he got to the start-finish line. Takes out several good drivers that running in the top 10. 5 laps down, too.
And I think the most unfortunate part of that is, you said the 88 was running so well with that nose missing. That's most likely going to be the end for him tonight.
He's still running. Yeah, he's smoking. He's done.
Well, what an effort.
In that. It was a heck of an effort, and I do tip my hat to Rusty Webb. He just technically pulled a Paul Ross right there from Rockingham. But I tell you what, lucky dog just went to Corey Lindsay. He's back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, with 24 laps to go, possibly 20 to go here once we get the green flag, see if he can't improve his position a little bit here, getting back on the lead lap.
Yeah, nobody's going to pit if
No.
you're up front. Yeah, you're staying out. You made your bed, you're staying out. So I'm not expecting any of those drivers to be hitting whatsoever.
What's the old saying, Tanner? Track position, track position, track position?
Yes, it is. And we've seen it countless times here tonight, Justin. When the race leader has a race lead, mainly he's going to hold the race lead. We've only seen one green flag lead change tonight. That was when Sam Cole stayed out on older tires, and he eventually got passed by Zielinski. That was the last time the lead changed.
And I think that just proves to the difficulty of Bristol here and how difficult it is to pass, especially with how dominant we've seen that high line be tonight.
The higher line, I sometimes like to call Bristol because you run the higher line so much. I like to call it the mini Darlington because at Darlington you're running that higher line.
And I will say, watching Zielinski's line those past couple laps, that's really the way I drive Bristol. That's the way I would have run it. About middle line, entering one, and then kind of get off the bottom, or get off turn 2, or turn 4 on the bottom.
If you're Cameron Rich, I have to ask you something, Justin. As a former driver in 3 wide, don't know if you're still doing any more driving within the league, but I know you've had plenty of experience with these guys. If you're Cameron Rich, you're in second place. Levi is ahead of you for the race lead here, and you're under this caution flag, and you're thinking to yourself, what do I got to do to get around Levi? How do you do it?
That's the million-dollar question, as we say again. From what I've seen, Zielinski seems to be more of a fan of that bottom groove. I don't know if Cam can possibly get to that high side, possibly make a move, but Zielinski's been so good, that middle to bottom groove. I don't know if there's really any way you can get around him. That's really just the nature of the beast of Bristol. You really have to either wait for a mistake, or as we saw in today's race, a little bump and run action, Tanner.
Levi Zielinski, your race leader, elects the outside row. He's going to be your race leader. You should get the good momentum again, just like any other restart. Here we go, back green flag racing. Cameron Rich is in second. Bolts is in third, Hackett's in fourth, and practically all 4 of these drivers are like the cleanest drivers as far as looking at the car is tonight. Battle for third heats up though. Hackathorn one at the bottom. Door gets slammed on him. Diamond cutting it, Sam close.
Zielinski's moved his lineup just a little bit from what we saw the previous run. That's a battle back in the field there for the 5th position.
Chad Brown, Luis Salmaso doing the modified run here. Okay, he has no bumper. Here comes Tate Lytle, the pole sitter of this evening's event. He's up there battling in the top 10, trying to get 6th away from Chad Brown. Look at Hanshaw. Hanshaw has seen everything. He's hit everything but the pace car. Or should I say he's hit everything but the hot dog stand. He's no bumper, no front bumper, and you're running an 8th. That's impressive.
That's really been the story these past 2 weeks. Again, brought it up. Rockingham, some guys didn't have a front bumper, and we're still running up front. And obviously that's been the big deal here tonight. It's quite impressive, and I've personally never seen it before. And coming to take 15 laps to go, Tanner, that's probably gonna go by within the next 3 or 4 minutes. This race is gonna be over pretty soon.
Well, nothing really battling within that top 10 area with these drivers, unless actually Chad Brown and Luis Salmaso is actually the closest battle on the racetrack. But the race leaders, though, with 15 laps to go, you're right, it's going to be over soon.
And you see that out of Cameron Rich at the moment. Move down his line just a little bit to try and get out of the 59's line. As you see Levi Zielinski getting into that line.
You want to keep everybody in mind on iRacing that they do not have green-white checkers. There's no green-white checkered system that is implemented. So if the race ends or caution comes out with at least 5 laps to go, the race will end. So right now, as you see the battle right there, it's not really a battle, but that would be the race for the win. Levi Zielinski and Cameron Rich. Rich won Rockingham last week. Zielinski is looking for his first win on the season. And in fact, while this battle's going on, I am actually going to look up on my stat sheet, see when Levi Zielinski's last win was.
You know what? I believe that may have been Milwaukee, possibly. I may be wrong, but Milwaukee in the B cars. Correct me if I'm wrong, our very own Larry Mack here, but with 10 laps to go, it's...
Well, I don't know if it counts. It was the DD series earlier this year, back in January at Iowa. But as far as the points of
and the caution is out. 9 laps to go. This race is not over yet. 63 round, the 00. With those cars smoking. Oh, what a hard hit.
Involved, but did something happen ahead of those guys?
I think something may have. Oh, the
Hanshaw and Lindsay.
Yeah.
Oh, Hanshaw hit the wall, came down, and hit the 00. Oh, that 00 just hit that exit pit wall right there.
What a hard hit.
That was vicious, and it took out Stevens. Stevens is done.
And Corey Lindsay got that free pass last caution. Unfortunately, it's looking like his night will most likely be done. So 7 laps to go. I'm guessing either 2 or 3 laps to go when we take the green here. Tanner, this is going to be a heck of a restart.
Be a heck of a restart indeed for Levi Zielinski. This is the restart of the night that he needs to get. He's been knocking him down on these restarts ever since he got the race lead. Rusty Webb gets the lucky dog here. But Levi Zielinski needs to just notch down this one restart, and then he should be able to win, unless Cameron Ridge decides to do the old chrome horn deal, which we have seen on short tracks in the past.
I guess it really depends on how much he wants this win. We know he won last week. How badly does he want to go back-to-back?
If you don't want to count the 3 Wide Racing Driver Development Series, that's fine. Let's kind of exit that out for a minute. Levi Zielinski's last official series points win was in the 3 Wide Racing League's B-Class Series. It was the 2015 Chesapeake Diecast B-Class Series at Chicagoland 2015.
Okay.
2015. So just under, I should say, 2.5 years. And yeah, thank you for bringing that up there, Director. Credit goes to you for bringing that up. The 17 has been documenting that 59 cars, Levi Zielinski, his restart methods. And I tell you what, if Cameron Ridge can time the restart perfectly and they go at the same time, we're seeing a side-by-side battle.
And we know that Cameron Ridge is listening here tonight, so...
Yeah, Cameron,
you better make this one count.
I wasn't even actually paying attention early, but if I was a driver, I probably would, but... Again, thanks to everybody for coming in tonight to watch tonight's festivities. You're live in the chat.
Absolutely.
Why do
I'm
I keep
hearing
saying
that,
I kept saying earlier NoBull4. It's NoBull4, so I do correct myself. But what were you saying there, Justin?
Really, I guess NoBull3 here tonight, since unfortunately the 4 wasn't eligible. And they have to win the race. So, the 17, if he wants that $20, I guess he's going to have to do something with this 59.
Would you punch your mom for $20?
Well, we've heard Tony Stewart say that, I'd wreck your mom to win a championship, so what would you do for $20, I guess? Is the or wreck your mom, excuse me.
I got the director all cracked up. Here we go. Pace car down pit and coming out pit road.
3 lap shootout. Here we go. Oh! Some contact.
Yeah, good timing on Zielinski's part. Oh man.
He about had that timed and then checked up just the slightest, the 17.
Battle for second though. It is all Matt Hackenthorne. He has the preferred line. He passes Cameron Ridge.
2 laps ago.
Cameron Ridge closes on the door.
Oh, the 17's gonna get hit by the 5.
Got hit by the 5 on Sam. Close caution.
That's gonna be it.
Over.
The 59, Levi Zielinski, back to victory lane here at Bristol.
Oh boy.
Man, I think that all started on that restart. He about had that timed. Ay, Dios míos is right.
I want to see some fists fly now after the race.
Yeah.
We got the last lap here. This is actually we're on live right now. So coming to the checkered is Mr. Levi Zielinski. I think he's coming off turn 4 right now. Yes, he is. Levi Zielinski makes up for the truck race last night that he coulda, shoulda, woulda won after starting on the pole. But tonight he started 12th and gets the victory at Bristol.
Hey, what? From the blimp, those fireworks kind of startled me, but they are flying.
Which fireworks?
Yeah, on the track or in the air. That's right.
I was gonna say the fireworks of the cars or the actual fireworks. But all right.
And it looks like Cameron Ridge, unfortunately, going to come home 11th tonight.
Oh, that means he will not continue his streak of top 10s. But we got a new winner tonight for this series, for the Cup, for the Race Kings Cup Series. It was all Eisman Tech, but now it is Mr. Levi Zielinski who is driving for Rebel Racing. Do we pull him up for the interview, or however you guys want to do this here?
And as the, taking over that team, that's great to see them back in victory lane.
Yeah, Levi Zielinski, driver for the Rebel Racing. I think you drove. Correct me if I'm wrong. You drove for Rebel Racing too, there, Justin.
Drove for him, and then once Levi stepped away, took ownership of that, and I'm telling you what, it's I'm glad to see it back to winning form. I certainly didn't get it done for him, but glad to see him back in it and back to see him in his winning ways.
One driver is sitting in a waiting for interview room. I think it'll be
Sam Close.
Sam Close. If we could pull him up, the director's ready. Here we are. Sam Close, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Sam, you finished third here tonight at Bristol. At first, early in the race, you were running fine in the top 5, but all of a sudden there was a pit road miscue that threw you in the middle of the pack, along with Cameron, Paul, your teammate Paul, and Luis. And all of a sudden you drive yourself way back on the top 5. You're staying in the top 5 for the rest of the night. But in closing stages of tonight's race, I don't know what happened there. Just racing in between you and Cameron. But take us to the final closing stages of the race tonight.
Yeah, it was a race of attrition. I'm watching the replay right now. I think we might have had a little bit of net code, but regardless, I'm really sorry to Cam. You know, it's not how I want to gain a position. I didn't anticipate him being running the speed that he was in the corner. But, you know, it just ended up happening, but I am sorry to him for that. Good race overall. Had a chance to get that track position, but the tires that I stayed out on just kind of started giving up on me and made a mistake and lost those positions to Levi. Good job to Levi. Overall, it was a fun race, except for all the cautions. You know, I think we need to have some regulation on that, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But there was one part of the race where you caught yourself in the middle of the pack. What happened there? We did talk to Cameron earlier, and I guess you guys were waiting for the pace car. But in your retrospective, what happened earlier that you guys in the middle of the pack after running in the top 5?
The pace car blinked out, and it was saying, let the pace car by, pass the pace car. And then it just reappeared up in the wall. And while me and Cam were watching that, I think the pit lane opened up after we had already passed it. I don't know if that's because of the glitch or whatnot, but yeah, man, I probably drove through about 4 wrecks tonight that I'm going to have to go back and watch the replays because it was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like it was a crazy night tonight. Well over 10 cautions. I think we reached like 13, 14 cautions-ish tonight. But nonetheless, we complete Bristol. The calamity's done at Bristol there, Sam, so you don't have to worry about Bristol anymore. But you do get away with the top 5 finish. And how about the next race after Bristol, which I think is going to be a much harder race? Road America. How do you feel about your chances on getting the victory at Road America?
I love Road America as a track. But as a driver, I probably am not going to have as much speed as some of those guys. You know, we got some road course ringers on here. So, you know, just try to have a top 10, top 5, and come out of there clean, and I'll be happy, and hopefully not piss any more people off.
All right, Sam. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us here tonight, and congratulations on a 3rd-place finish.
All right, thanks for the broadcast, guys, and thanks to 3 Wide Racing, 3OG, Luis. I got to give a shout-out to him for these paint schemes that he gave me because they're sweet. And once again, thank you guys for the broadcast.
Before we let you go, Sam, I believe you were the winner tonight of the NoBull4. Is that correct? Oh, okay. Excuse me. That's what I thought.
No, I wasn't in there.
All right, Sam. Yep. All right, Sam. Well, thank you for coming take a talk with us here tonight, and congratulations on 3rd.
See you guys.
As Sam Close, folks, finishing in the 3rd position here tonight. Justin, I'm going to give you the honors to interview with Mr. Matt Hackathorn, who comes away with a 2nd-place finish.
Well, Matt, it's nice to see you up front. We a great personality on the track and up there, top 5 most of the night. Just kind of talk us through the race. A lot of action tonight, a lot of cautions. I'm sure you weren't too pleased about that, but coming home in P2 has to make it all the better.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, I think I went from the front to back twice. I'm not exactly sure, but I know at one point I was the very last car on the track. So I just kept driving. I tried not to get caught up in everything. I got a little bit in that one track blocker, and I spun down and hit the inside wall, and it made me super tight that next run. But thanks to me overdriving, I hit the wall, and I think I pulled a little bit more rear steer into it. It made it a lot better.
Yeah, and up there for the lead quite a number of times there. We saw a bunch of guys, high side, low side. Seemed like you had the bottom running pretty well. Did it seem like that was the better line for you?
I was mainly trying to figure out where I can make passes on different cars because I knew we were coming up towards traffic. So I was trying the bottom, and the bottom worked really good in 1 and 2, but it was really good to run the middle and cut it down low in turn 3 and 4, and it didn't seem like anyone else could do that. So I was just trying to kind of keep a pace up with old Rally Zielinski, and unfortunately the next restart, that was on the bottom, and I got shuffled back to 4th. So I just took it conservative, and luckily it panned out on the last restart. I kept the bottom line pinched down. We all jumped. We all thought we heard him get on the gas, and we all jumped, and it gave him a good jump. And I was like, I need to finish good. I've been racing too hard all year not to push this a little bit. So I pinched down Cam and them, and I guess Cam got spun, which is very unfortunate. Cam's probably the most respectful racer I've raced with in this league for the last couple of years.
Absolutely. And moving on, next week, Road America. Thoughts on that?
I did pretty good there last year. I've been working a lot on this off-season on tire conservation, which is very imperative with this new tire model with this car design. So I've just been working really hard on trying to keep the tires under me, especially with the too tight, at the end of the straightaways, if you start wheel hopping, you run out of your tires very fast.
All right, well, congratulations on P2 here tonight, and we wish you all the best next week at Road America as well.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to give a shout out to my teammate and co-owner, or owner, Mike Stevens. He always makes it a very peppy time. He was my cheerleader through all this, so I just figured I'd show a shout out to him. And you guys for throwing an awesome broadcast, and of course Corey Lindsay for being the absolute man and putting this league on every week.
All right, that was Matt Hackthorne, folks, finishing in the 2nd position tonight. Great run for him. And now let's go one up to first place, to victory lane, Mr. Levi Rowdy Zielinski. Levi, first off, congratulations on the win. And I told you last night you better win, but you finished 2nd, but you win tonight. So I guess that makes up for last night. Congratulations.
Thanks, Tanner. Yeah, I guess it does make up a little bit for last night. Definitely, when I got back to the hauler, felt a little bit upset about, getting that win. I felt like we had a good truck last night. Definitely had I thought we could have won last night for sure. The truck was really good. So kind of disappointed in the finish of finishing 2nd, but, if I'm going to finish 2nd to anybody, I'd rather have it be Sam Close. We've always had good battles at these short tracks, and to come down to another short track racing like this tonight was one hell of a race, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely, but you want to tell me how you didn't get a scratch in your car? Because I am actually looking back right now, and I'm looking all around your car, and you didn't really get a scratch in that thing. After starting 12th tonight, so obviously you've seen some kind of calamity at some point or another. Take us through your race, though. You were running on the top 5 majority of the night, though, but take us through the race on getting through the field, taking the race lead at one point, losing the race lead, and getting the race lead back.
Yeah, starting 12th, I was definitely a little worried. You start in the middle back, you start in that bee's nest, usually it doesn't go too well. Most people tonight seen that. Start 12th, we just kind of made our way through. I think first caution we picked up 2 or 3 positions. Second caution we did about the same, 2 or 3 positions, and then kept on picking off one at a time, until we got to that one caution where some of the leaders didn't realize pit road was open, and some of us did. I kind of capitalized on that opportunity. You always know when the pace car comes out and it's before the pit stall is that obviously it's time to pit. So that got us track position and got us the first, and same thing like last night, track position's key. That's what won Sam the race last night, was track position. Him staying out that 20 extra laps, that helped him last night, and it helped us tonight staying out and got us position, got us first place. Kind of surprised that Sam decided to stay out with no tires on that longer run. Definitely shocked me, but it was definitely hard to pass him, even on those older tires. So it tells you that track position is important here at Bristol, and definitely is, because you can't pass on that bottom. You got to move that person out of that high side if you're going to pass somebody late in the stage.
Track position is indefinitely important here at Bristol, no matter what car you are driving, and I still got to document this. Again, congratulations to you, because a win has been eluding you in the 3Y Racing League for quite some time now. Unless you want to go ahead and count the Driver Development Series, because that was the last time you won, was earlier this year in the B-Car Driver Development Series, which was back in January. You won at Iowa, but your last official point series win in an official series was back in 2015 at Chicagoland. So the win eluded you for a long time, but great way to get back to victory lane, man.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think that 2015 B Series, I remember that one. That was a fuel mileage race against you, Tanner. It was pretty awesome to be back in victory lane. Yeah, I don't really count the DD Series as one, but I'll count it as one for the league in total, but not for, this event. We definitely had strong, finishes the last couple races. We're looking very strong after, our Daytona woes and all of that. We're now third place in the Truck Series points, and we should definitely be in top 10. And actually, I think a win locks us into the Cup Series, right?
I do believe it is. My director will have to correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I do believe a win does lock you in. But you cracked up some great bonus points, especially in that halfway. And one more amazing stat. The last time you came close to winning at Bristol was back in actually last night in the truck race. So I was just about to say, otherwise you didn't have any previous starts at Bristol within the series.
I don't think I've ever started a Bristol race because I'm always scared of this track. It's the track that you literally kind of avoid on the schedule for me. I've always avoided because I don't want to see the mess that happens. I don't want to be involved in the shit that goes on during the race because I don't want to be that person. The other kind of crazy stat, I don't know if Justin remembers this or not. The last time Justin Kolb was the announcer of a race, I won.
I was just going to bring that up.
2 for 2 when Justin Kolb is the announcer. And that's a pretty awesome stat. So you guys can keep on doing it, and I'll keep on winning for you.
Yeah, and keeping that stat alive. Just before we let him go, Tanner, I just want to congratulate you. Finally bringing Rebel Racing to the Cup Series victory lane. Obviously, I couldn't do it. I was not the greatest driving that, and I'm glad you took that over and brought it back to its winning ways. Let me lay a stat on you tonight. 110 laps led, most laps led tonight, and it seemed like once those guys had the pit miscue, you were up front and didn't really relinquish that lead at all.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get up front and you gotta take it when you can, and that's what we did. We knew that we had a fast car tonight. We obviously didn't get the practice because of work situation, but you know what? We had a strong car, and I knew that we had a strong car tonight for sure. It definitely feels good to be in victory lane after about, 3 seasons of not being there, and that's kind of crazy to say that because we're always a fast car. We're always up there. Just luck has not been on our side, and so far this season it's been on our side, so that's a great thing to have this year.
One more question before you go, Levi. How do you feel about your chances above Road America after carrying this momentum of Bristol?
Road America has been a track that we've done pretty well at for road course. Me and Justin Kolb battled in 2015 B for it.
I remember that
about
one.
2 years ago. It was me, him, and Nathan Velez. So we're pretty strong at Road America. So this should be an interesting one. Maybe we can get our first road win, and that'd be history in the making right there. I tell you, because we don't got nothing for Bathurst. I'll be honest there. That truck at Bathurst is insane. But come Road America, we know every corner there, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a good finish at Road America.
All right, Levi. Well, congratulations on the win here tonight and the second place last night in the trucks, and hopefully keep this momentum going for Road America and future races.
Yeah, go get a win at Road America, finally.
Oh, I'll do that for us. I'd just like to say thank you guys. I thank Carlos a lot for doing this, doing the broadcasting this year and, taking aside that, stepping down from racing and doing this. That's awesome. Carlos, I appreciate it. I appreciate having Justin Kolb and Tanner Sharp in the booth, tonight doing this because having somebody that's raced in our league and knows us, that's awesome to have up in the booth because that gives us, what we want to see. That gives the people what they want to see is they know the drivers, they know how we are, which is awesome. Just like to thank Rebel Racing. Obviously, we've been there. We're doing great this year. I'd like to thank hell of a good sponsor. French dip is amazing. You guys gotta go get it sometime and check it out on the Lay's chips. The ruffles, those are amazing with it. Like the Saint Stolen art, they do a lot of stuff with tattoo artists and all that. And I'd like to thank our B Car Series Shell Helix, our Shell V Power now. So thanks guys, I appreciate it tonight.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was Levi Zielinski winning the race here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. One last interview. Let's talk to Cameron Rich here. Cameron, do you have a copy?
What's going on?
All right, well, Carlos and I are going to do this simultaneously here, but I'll ask the first question there. You had a shot at first for the win, but it looks like the lead getting the race lead was so difficult. But talk about that. Take me through that last restart there to where just take me to that from that last restart.
Well, I got the unfortunate disadvantage of only having one screen, so I can't see to the right of me. So I went, and I thought I was going to jump Levi, and I slowed down just a bit, got hit, and I guess that just knocked me all out of whack, and I was all getting knocked around until I got knocked around for good.
All right, Justin, do you have a question?
I know it was not the finish you wanted tonight, but just some things to take away up front most tonight, and I'm sure, no surprise to you, your team, EisenTech Enterprises, fast everywhere, and I know you're pretty good on road courses. I'm sure you're looking forward to next week at Road America.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter. So it's, hopefully I don't get involved in something. It seems like every damn race this year I've been involved in something, and, I don't know if it's...
Got involved last week, but you still won the race. So, it doesn't matter how tore up your car can be. It still seems like you can win anywhere.
Yeah, never get up until the fat lady's singing. You gotta keep out there and trucking. Just, this race tonight was not good, not indicative of what this league is. We need to clean these races up a little bit. These no give and take stuff that needs to stop. Shit, we had 15, 16 cautions or whatever. I know Bristol's like Bristol, but just not what it should be.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask another question, but actually you kind of answered it that your Road America was your bread and butter. But Cameron, for EisenTech Motorsports, I haven't seen Peter Shore on the track. What's going on with Peter?
Peter is actually in New Zealand, so shout out to him. He'll be back for next week. I'll probably kick our ass,
Yeah. He'd be ready for Bathurst. Yeah. Well, I wish him the safe trip, and, it wasn't the finish you want tonight, but I'm sure you'll go get him at Road America next week there, Cameron.
Hey, you know what? I ran up front, had some fun. Seemed like everybody else fared a lot worse than I did, so, no shame in that.
All right, well, thank you.
It's all about fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming, taking the time to talk with us here this evening here, Cameron, and we will see you next week at Road America.
Hey, thanks, guys, and you guys did a really good job on the broadcast. I was tuning in during the race and really liked what I heard.
Oh, we know. Don't worry. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Cameron Rich, folks, finishing in the 11th position tonight. And Justin and Director Carlos, should we go through the finishing results? The final order? He got on top of the board. Mr. Levi Zielinski getting his first win in a point series, an event of 3 wide for the first time in just under 2.5 years since 2015. He gets the win tonight. Matt Hackathorn in second. Sam Close is in third. Tate Lytle finishes fourth. Dylan Hickey in fifth. Luis Salmaso in sixth. Chad Brown, seventh. Kyle Hanshaw, eighth. Nick Miller, ninth. Rounding out the top 10 is Rusty Webb in a modified. I'm sure Kyle Hanshaw was in a modified too. Quite a few drivers in that top 10 were in a modified. Not going to go through them all. But Justin, if you want to take the next 10.
Quite a few drivers in that modified club. Cameron Rich going to come home, unfortunately, 11th. Mike Stevens, 12th. He avoided a lot tonight. Unfortunately, didn't quite get that top 10 finish. Corey Lindsey's going to come home 13th. Paul Ross, 14th. James Duke, 15th. Jordan Teal, 16th. Andrew Rucker, 17th. Wade Lear, 18th. Kevin Finn, 19th. And Brent Miller going to round out the top 20 tonight.
Outside the top 20, finishing blackjack position, Johnny Thomas finishes 21st. 22nd, Chuck Sweeting. 23rd, Randall Faulks. 24th, Richard Hines. Nathan Velez finishes 25th. Michael Skinner, 26th. Christopher Munger finishes 27th. And Steve Ketman rounds out the 28 car field that started tonight's event. Justin, final thought before we head into Road America.
Well, Bristol, unfortunately, a bit caution-filled tonight. We got the drivers' opinions on it. Obviously, for first-time watchers, that's not what 3 wide is all about. But tonight, a little hectic, as you saw. Quite a bit of cautions, but with that, a lot of great racing we saw here tonight, and a little bit of pit confusion, but once Levi Zielinski took the lead, was all but over. We saw here tonight.
Absolutely. I had the same thoughts in my head as you are. So you just pretty practically took the words right out of me. I'm looking forward to Road America. It's good. Right in my neck of woods. I'm only about 25 minutes away from that racetrack. But hey, before we close out the deal here, let's thank a few people here. First off, the series sponsor, Race Kings, who sponsor the 3-Wide Racing League's Race Kings Cup Series. Thank you guys for sponsoring the series. Thank you to the league itself, to the league organizers and drivers for putting on a great show, especially to the organizers who do all they can to make this league what it is today. Thank to everybody. Thank you to the team tonight for 3-Wide. That is Justin Kolb and the director, Carlos Acosta. All right, folks. Well, we will see you 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks, I'm reading April 30th at the Road America road course, 4-mile road course for the Cup Series. That's going to be a heck of a race to watch. So if you ever want to see a Cup Series, a Cup Car Series at Road America, here's the place to watch on 3-Wide TV. So until 2 weeks' time, I'm Tanner Sharp, Justin Kolb, Carlos Acosta. We'll see you at Road America.